Welcome to Beyond Ocean and Maine, MCM's news magazine program. I'm Robert Goitis.
And I'm Sheila Tran.
After being operated by the same family for the past 87 years, the owners of Haddad's Ocean Cafe have decided to sell the business to Table 9 Hospitality.
The Haddad brothers and Table 9's founding partners discuss with us the changes in ownership and what it will mean for the community.
So Table 9 Hospitality, that's our company, my two business partners and I. We started it about a year ago, but the three of us have been working together since 2015. We were a management group for a different restaurant, kind of worked all over the place. And then, after the pandemic, we kind of decided to make a path to work for ourselves. We started it in 2023.
We wanted to buy Haddad's. What attracted us most was the community that we saw down here. Everything that the Haddads have been able to build over the years of operations, that strength is what attracted us to this area and place.
We've hit retirement age and it's what we do.
It's kind of slow down a little bit, enjoy life a little more. And we're very hands-on owners. It's an all-encompassing job. It's a 24/7 job, and we love it, but we're just kind of getting a little more tired than we used to.
I think it's just a great opportunity to broaden our horizons a bit and take on a challenge of a place like this that really has a standing in this community and really does a lot for it. And it's exciting to be able to provide that for people. I think that's what we're looking forward to the most, is really just getting to know the people of Marshfield and people that live here and being able to continue to serve them.
This place it's gorgeous. And it's such a staple of the community. And just talking to the Haddads and seeing the relationship they have with Marshfield and how tight-knit it is, it really is something. It's the kind of place that we like to be. A place that families can come and celebrate all their events. The staff all love it. There's this beautiful outside deck that we're sitting on right now, and we're overlooking the water. It's just a gorgeous place and a beautifully built business that we're excited about continuing on.
It was passed down to us by our parents, who got passed down by their grandparents. So we're third generation owners. We had a smaller location at the end of the Esplanade, and we were there 75 years. 12 years ago, we decided to make a move, and we actually built this restaurant.
We went from 120 seats to 400 seats, outdoor seating, function room. So it's been a huge change for us, but very positive change.
We've got staff members that have been with us 40 years, not seeing them every day. People the next level's been with us over 20 years, and not seeing them. It's the friendship, the lifelong friendships that you build in this business. It's unique in that we're such a tight-knit community. We draw from Marshfield heavily, but we also draw from surrounding communities, and we've built a lot of everlasting friendships with those people.
I think our legacy is just that we've always been here for the community, and we've always tried to be good neighbors, and we try to be a positive influence in town, and I think we've made our mark that people tend to come, and I think it's just a sense of community.
So changes from the new ownership, our dream is that it won't really be noticeable. We wouldn't come in here and reinvent the wheel because of what the Haddads have done. A lot of the staff is staying on, both the managers, Mitch and Chuck are both gonna stay and help us with the transition. Really not skip a beat when it comes to community service. Just a little bit of upgrades to the facility and some additions to the menu, but keeping the core of Haddad's.
The bones of this place aren't going anywhere. We're diligently preserve what this place is. So what people have come to expect and come to visit this place will still be here. But that's not to say we won't add some new and exciting things for people to come check out. What we're looking forward to the most is, again, just continuing that kind of relationship with the community and having this big, beautiful restaurant and bar to operate and to, host everything that goes on around here, and kind of remain and continue to be a staple of the South Shore and the community of Marshfield at large.
Community can expect a little bit of revived energy through some expanded hours, continued working with the groups and the local charities and the schools and everything to provide that community atmosphere, along with just a terrific service and restaurant experience. For me, when I get to provide an unbelievable experience, there's something special about having a group be able to walk away and just say, man, we had a great time tonight. And for us in this industry, to be able to provide that to patrons over and over again is just really something special.
So I'm looking forward the most is the positive changes that I feel we can, bring into this community. The Haddads have built something here that can never be replicated. Their relationships with the community, with not only the town, but the people. And just the loyalty people have to them is very exciting to kind of take over and merge into our Table 9 stamp.
My real hope and our goal is continuity. We understand that we have some pretty big shoes to fill within this community, and our hope is that people continue to come to Haddad's and feel like what they've gotten here over the years has continued.
We really just want to diligently preserve and keep that going. So what we'll bring is a great place to come out and eat, come have a good time with friends, and a great beachfront restaurant experience.
The three of us are really just grateful for this opportunity. What has been built here and what we're continuing with the Haddads, who have been nothing but incredible to us in this transition. You can tell very quickly, the more you talk about this place with people around here, how important it is and has been for years. So we don't take that lightly, and we're just really excited to keep it going.
We just want to thank everybody in town who have supported us for the past 87 years, Mitch and I personally for over 40 years. And we appreciate their business, we appreciate their repeat business and the kind words that they've, given us over the years. And lately, the past few weeks, past month, once the town realized we were moving on to Assembly Group, a lot of well wishes.
Just the outpour in the last few weeks of just people just thanking us, the gratitude, and sending us all these kind words has meant so much to us. So it's been humbling, but very much appreciated.
JBC Pans and Pandas and the New England's Pans and Pandas Associations has recently rebranded into the Look Foundation.
Leaders of the organization sat down with us to talk about the rebranding and what it means for their overall mission.
Pandas pans are medical conditions that are brought on by an infectious trigger that creates an immune response that results in inflammation in the brain. And in turn, the child or young adult starts exhibiting a whole host of mental health symptoms. It can be OCD, ADHD, depression, anxiety, school refusal, food restriction, and even suicidal ideations. It can come on gradually and in other cases very abruptly. However, with proper diagnosis and treatment, they can heal.
The Look Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We're based in Situate, Massachusetts. We support families throughout Massachusetts and beyond, actually throughout the entire country. We provide support to the families, young adults, and children that are battling this autoimmune disease. We provide support through advocacy, education in the schools and doctors' offices. We provide emotional support as well as financial support through our grant program.
Our journey began in 2013 with a national conference that brought together parent advocates, medical specialists, and over 300 attendees, and this was a significant milestone in the Pans and Pandas community. We then put together an extensive educational campaign where we targeted school nurses, educators, and medical professionals across New England.
This past year, the JBC Foundation merged with the New England Pans Association to form the Look Foundation. When NE Pans and JBC merged, we rebranded as the Look Foundation to really empower people and the medical profession to start really looking for underlying reasons, looking for root causes as to why these children and young adults were presenting with mental health symptoms.
What we hope to gain from this merger is using our resources, our expertise, and also our passion to help make a greater improvement for these children that are suffering from Pans and Pandas, along with young adults and their families. So I think that the only change with our mission is that we can support more families through the grant program. I believe that our outreach and our advocacy align with each other, and the grant program was the one key thing that we were missing to help families. We could give as much advocacy as we wanted to and education as we wanted to, but unless these families had the financial ability to get these kids help, then there was no way of getting them any help. So that financial component, I think, was one of the most important things that is gained through merging.
I think one of the biggest changes is that we are taking everything that we've learned over the past decade and taking it to the next level.
The Look Foundation aims to do this in 4 ways. Prevent misdiagnosis by educating the medical community to look for underlying infections and inflammation, improve treatment and improve access to proper diagnosis and treatment, provide the vital emotional and financial support to affected families, and promote a broader understanding and research of these illnesses. If you are suspecting a PANDAS-PANS diagnosis, you would want to seek a medical consult with a healthcare provider. It is a clinical diagnosis, and if your practitioner isn't familiar with it, there's an amazing group, the PANDAS Physicians Network, that is made up of experts from across the country that can be a resource for your healthcare provider. So PANDAS-PANS absolutely impacts every aspect of a child's life, not only them, but their entire family, in ways that no other illness does. And it not only impacts them, their family, their community around them, their school community. Often they're unable to attend school.
It's a very lonely path, right? And when we started this path many, many years ago, there was nobody out there to talk to. And now we've created this community where these parents and these families are guided by just other parents helping them.
So we'd like parents to know that they are not alone and that we are here and our community is here to lean on, and please reach out.
We are in the middle of a mental health crisis right now, with 1 in 5 children being diagnosed with a major mental health disorder. The second leading cause of death right now between ages 10 and 25 is suicide. And we offer a ray of hope during this crisis, because as these children and young adults heal from PANDAS-PANS, we are redefining the course of mental health.
I hope that we can just reach more people on a national level. Right now we've been working at a regional level, prior to the merge, and now that we've merged, we can just have a broader reach that way.
Michael J. Foy, a local science fiction and mystery author, is about to release his 18th book.
Foy discussed with us his new novel and how it features many of Marshfield's locations.
I started my professional life as an engineer. I graduated Northeastern in 1979, had a bachelor's in mechanical engineer, and pursued that career for about 13 years. From that point on, I started to recognize a need to change careers. I always enjoyed storytelling, and even though I didn't get high marks in English, I decided that storytelling was the direction I wanted to go in. So I became a recruiter. Now, how does that fit into storytelling? Basically, I recruited for the publishing industry. I recruited editors, executives, publishers, etc., as part of my transition away from engineering, you might say. After that profession, in 1993, I started to write. I wrote a screenplay for the movies titled Armageddon Continuum. I sold an option for that, but then eventually, about 20 years ago, wrote my first novel called False Gods, which became a local bestseller, and I've written 17 or 18 books. My 18th book is coming out in a matter of weeks. I've lived in Marshfield since 1986, and I came to appreciate this town in a kind of a strange way. When I was in college and I was coming back from the Cape, not totally with all my senses, I broke down on Route 3 heading north, and it was at what used to be called Exit 12. So in the dark, I stumbled off the exit and discovered this town, Marshfield, and it looked very Capey to me, and I love Cape Cod. So when I got married, this is where we settled, and we've been here almost 40 years. Writing did not come easy to me. Like I said, I was an engineer, and as an engineer, you have an affinity for the math and sciences. English, I struggled with, but at the same time, as I mentioned, I'm a storyteller. I always have been, even as a kid. I told stories to my neighbors, my friends, and anybody who I could corral in front of me to listen. So I decided when I was going through another career transition that I would learn to write better. And I took courses, I read books, and basically improved my writing to the point where it became palatable and even understandable. And thankfully, I've apparently, if I can judge by some of the critique, I've made some great headway. My books generally fall under the science fiction genre with certain minor exceptions. I have written some Sherlock Holmes stories. I've written mysteries and thrillers. More often than not, I'm very prone to mash them up. My new book is a mashup of science fiction and mystery. My upcoming book is titled Private Eyes and UFO Lies. It's based in Marshfield. It concerns two private eyes that have the reputation for handling the strange and unusual, even the paranormal. The start of the book is they're approached by a client who has heard about their penchant for taking on the unusual. She decides that they would be the ideal investigators to take on a case where she wants to prove that her boyfriend is marrying material. She thought that was the case all along, up until she found that he might be harboring entities hostile to the human race in his backyard. So she goes to them. They reluctantly listen to her. They're about to turn her away, but she pays them with gold. And they decide, well, okay, we'll take this on. The book hops around a lot of Marshfield locations, like the one we're sitting in. I'm sitting in right now, called the Bridgeway Restaurant. They have an office across the street, across the river, I should say, in Hummerock, which I've kindly annexed for Marshfield. Hummerock is officially part of Scituate, but they also hang around Gerard's Turkey Farm, the jail, of course, North Atlantic Scuba, the Marshfield Marina, and lots of other places that any Marshfield resident would be familiar with. They say write what you know, so I'm somewhat familiar with all of them. I've enjoyed all of them to a certain degree, except for the jail. But yeah, I wanted that local flavor, and this seemed to be the best way to get it across. You know, it's funny what strikes me on occasion as to what topics I take on in my novels. I was writing Star Trek-y kind of science fiction, and all of a sudden I literally had a dream where I was thrust into kind of a film noirish plot with Humphrey Bogart-esque kinds of hard-boiled private eyes. So I thought, what if I could do something strange with that? And I did in Roswell Meets Noir, and this upcoming book is actually a sequel to that story. It will be available on Amazon widely in an e-reader form, Kindle, Nook, even on your iPhone if you can open PDFs. So it won't be in physical form yet. That is a possibility still coming down the road. I would like to maybe introduce this area to the general reading population. South Shore of Boston. Like I said, when I first discovered it, I thought, wow, this is like being on Cape Cod, but not quite. It's very convenient to Boston, maybe a half hour up the street, depending on traffic. And Cape Cod is about a half hour down the street meaning Route 3 Expressway. It's got a flavor. At least as you might imagine, a very homey feeling for me, and I'd like to get that across to people. I hope that when people read this book, they'll recognize that Marshfield is not a flyover town, if you will, on the way from Boston to Cape Cod, that it is worth stopping. by and exploring a little bit. And actually, I think that's happening more and more. The beaches are becoming more and more discovered, some of the restaurants, etc. So hope to continue that trajectory.
Sail Home, an organization that provides supportive housing communities to individuals with intellectual disabilities, is currently in the process of building its first group home.
MCM was lucky enough to talk with Sail Home's leaders to discuss this new development.
The mission of Sail Home is to create supported housing for individuals with intellectual disabilities and autism so they can live, work, and socialize in an inclusive community.
Well, Sail Home is a new innovative model that some parents and community supporters decided to pilot, and it is going to combine live-in staff, staff who come in, but also remote supports and assistive technology so that it doesn't require the 24-hour staffing that group homes tend to have. It's going to supplant some in-person staffing with innovation.
In October of 2023, Sail Home purchased its first housing development, which will be known as Sail Home Scituate. This development will provide housing for 8 individuals with intellectual disabilities and autism. It will also have 2 apartments for what we're going to call community builders. It will have a community center and 2 spaces for lease opportunities, one of which will host our remote support monitoring office that will support the residents at Sail Home Scituate.
I think, people will be living in their apartments alone for the first time. They'll have a lot of assistive technology to support them, June ovens and Ring doorbells and Alexa and all kinds of things. We have stove shutoffs here, and fire stoppers. All those things will be duplicated. But the concept is really that you don't need somebody with you 24/7. You don't have to do things when there's staff available. You can get some support remotely. So our remote support contract really works with people individually, and then they get a face-to-face call, 1, 2, several times a day, depending on what their goals are. Reminders to wake up, reminders to take medication, reminders to get ready for their work program, whatever they determine. And the unique thing about this sale is that so each remote support person also has a live in-person call tree response. So if they push the button, they can reach a live staff anytime. There's somebody monitoring that 24/7, and if they push the button, they reach someone. So if they're having anxiety or the plumbing is going or any of those things, they can reach someone live. The unique thing about Sail is there will be 2 people living in there, and they will be the first call.
What's really cool about these apartments is that they will all be embedded with assistive technology. Assistive technology fosters greater independence for these folks. Things like Ring doorbells, smart appliances, alarm systems, reminders. All of that allows them to live more independently while being safe. And at the same time, it alleviates the need for that one-to-one support from a person. They want to live independently, they want to have choice, they want to feel safe, and they want to feel supported. And assistive technology has that tremendous opportunity to do those things for them. Sail Home Scituate is located at 809 Country Way. And we are so happy about this development. We've had such tremendous support, including from the town of Scituate. They provided us $1 million to create affordable housing for individuals with disabilities. And that has just been one of the most important funders that have allowed us to get up and running. The entire project is a $3 million project, and to date we've raised over $1.4 million. And it's all been through community, writing grants, and support from donors.
I think it's just a really, really, really good model for the future. And I think the founders of Sail are really innovative, really invested, really community driven. The passion is amazing. And I think it's just a really good way to show that there can be an alternative to 24-hour group homes because we will never, I worked for DDS for a long time, and I think very highly that they're really passionate people and they really care, and they've really supported this apartment. They've taken over all the funding for that, and they're great, but they don't have the resources to do many more group homes, and there's not a lot of staff who are applying for these jobs anymore. So even if we could open them, they're too hard to staff. So we have to look at other ways, and I'm really excited to see what this group can do and what this pilot can demonstrate.
I think what we're most looking forward to is to have these residents be able to have and choose where they live, who they live with, and to be a part of a community. We have so much to learn from each other. All individuals of all abilities have great knowledge. They can share activities together. They can be kind to one another. And we really believe that these developments and these residents for these individuals will contribute to the community at large. And we want them to be a part of the fabric of the community. Well, as a parent with a loved one who does have a disability, we all are concerned about our kids and their future. Are they going to have a job? Are they going to have friends? Where are they going to live? And who's going to take care of them? And the community, many of us know people with loved ones that have disabilities. And when you talk to the community at large about this project, they all understand the need. So we've had tremendous support from the community, whether that's been in financial donations, in-kind donations, or just being a part of our tribe in terms of creating awareness and letting other people know about what our mission is. So we feel very supported by the community. So our founders believe that Sail Home will bring diversity and inclusion to our communities. We want our individuals and residents to be able to live in their own communities. They have forged great relationships in their communities. They have friends, they have supporters, and our developments being in the community that they currently live is ideal for both the individuals and the community at large.
And I think we're really seeing that the people we support can be real contributors to the community. They are not only people who receive services, they are a vital part of the community, and I think through our community room, we plan to have a lot of integrated activities, invite the community in. We're next to a senior housing complex where launch members already are involved. So I think the hope is that people in the community, and we've already seen the support, will see what a vital part of the fabric of the community these residents are.
This concludes this edition of Beyond Ocean and Maine. Tune in next time. I'm Robert Goitis.
And I'm Shayla Tran.
Thank you very much for watching.